Leadership breaks down into two areas. There's the art side and the science side. The art side of leadership is how we think as a leader. If you're going to be a leader, you're going to have to change the way you think about people, the way you think about yourself. The science side is what we do. What do we do as leaders? Now, a lot of us, when we get in, we think that all leadership is do this, do that, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. No. The higher you go in leadership, the more actually what you're thinking about. Lori and myself at this point, it's not what we do as much as how we're thinking that makes a difference as we're building our teams. And when you're getting started, it's very important to master some basic concepts, but eventually it gets back to what are you thinking and how you're thinking about leadership. So if you take a look at the first rung of these 5 steps, the learning. Number 1, learning. Now, it's just a quick statement. If you're not a learner, you're never going to be a leader. If you're not a learner, you're never going to enter into leadership because you're not going to be able to learn the basic things necessary to become a leader. So learning is the absolute number 1 top priority. Without being a student, you will never become a leader. Well, how do we learn in life? How do we learn to be a leader? Well, it starts with experiences. You have a life that you're living. You're going to go out there, you're going to make some mistakes, and you're going to want to learn from those mistakes. But in today's information age, with information compounding, literally the size of information doubling, they say, every 3 to 4 years, you don't have enough of a life to learn all the lessons. So we're going to have to start to learn from experiences, but preferably not just our own. In fact, the statement, learn from mistakes, preferably someone else's. So as we're going along and learning to be a leader, yes, learn from our own experiences, but we have other things that we can learn from, things like books. I absolutely love reading. I love reading because it gives me access to information that I could never have enough time to live to learn those lessons. For example, I read a book from John Wooden. I believe he was 91 years old when he wrote the book. And if you think about it, he wrote a couple 100-page book at 91 years old. Think about how much wisdom and experiences that he has lived, and he's captured the core, the most important principles into a book, called it Wooden Lifetime Experiences on and Off the Court. He captured those experiences, and when I read that book and start to adopt those same experiences as my own through the power of imagination, all of a sudden, I've lived the highlights of a very successful 91-year-old. And I don't know, it's 15, 16 bucks for the book. I'm thinking, what better investment could you have than a $16 investment that gives you the lifetime experiences of one of the most successful coaches in the history of this country? That's the power of reading, guys. If you're going to be a learner, you're going to have to learn to be a reader. In fact, the statement, leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are going to have to learn to be readers. It's a non-negotiable. You don't have enough lifetime experiences to pick up enough information to climb all the way to the top of this leadership staircase without learning to fall in love with books and reading.